The newly formed Six Flags Corporation is absolutely smashing it, already having announced a bunch of major attractions coming to their parks in the next few years. That's great, isn't it? Well, not entirely, especially for these two major coasters. Let me explain. 2025 is going to be a huge year for King's Dominion and Canada's Wonderland, as both parks are each adding a massive new roller coaster to open next year. Let's start with King's Dominion. After nearly 7 years of a complete hole in the park's lineup following the removal of Volcano the Blast coaster, King's Dominion are finally filling that hole with Rapterra, a launched wing coaster from Swiss manufacturer B&M. With the continued expansion and success of the Jungle Expedition area, now's never been a better time to replace such a beloved attraction, and Rapterra looks like a really good ride. For the more skeptical people out there, you have to remember that Volcano was one of a kind, and the park wasn't going to come anywhere near the craziness of that ride, especially after removing the mountains, so I think that this ride is a good choice for this plot of land. Additionally, from a business standpoint, you're looking at a huge crowd pleaser, which is what the park had before with Volcano, but this should be much more reliable and profitable in the grand scheme of things. Now let's take a look at what the heck Canada's most famous theme park is doing. What in Wonder Mountain is this? See what I did there? Canada's Wonderland is going big with their plans for 2025, as they will be adding the record-breaking psychotic attraction known as AlpenFury. With 2 launches, including one going up and out of the mountain into the first of 9 inversions found on the ride, this coaster is going to be ridiculous. Seeing as this is the park's first extreme roller coaster since Yukon Striker in 2019, and seeing how this park's lineup is absolute garbage other than, 5 rides, it's safe to say that overall, the park really needed a major attraction like this. So now that you know the basis of both these rides, you're probably wondering what is so wrong with them. They're big new additions, they'll draw in crowds, and they will surely please those crowds, right? That would be a correct statement, if it wasn't for capacity. Let's quickly compare the numbers of both these coasters so you can get a grasp of what I'm talking about. Rapterra will run 2 trains, each with 5 cars totaling 20 passengers per train. On the other hand, AlpenFury will run 2 trains, each with 3 cars totaling a whopping 18 riders per train. Still not seeing the issue? Both Rapterra and AlpenFury eclipse a track length of over 3,000 feet or 914 meters. So basically, these are long rides with the capacity of a small park coaster. And what's worse is that 1, these rides are going to be major crowd pleasers and magnets for the general public, and 2, these rides are going to be located at some of the most visited theme parks in the entire world. According to theparkdb.com, King's Dominion draws in around 2.8 million guests every year. Meanwhile, Canada's Wonderland is the second most visited theme park in the entire chain, including the Six Flags parks, drawing in some 3.77 million visitors per year. This further emphasizes my concern for AlpenFury in particular, as this is going to be located in the center of the park. It's going to be one of the first rides that visitors see when they walk into the park, and lines are going to flood in at a pace that I can't even imagine. Combine this with low-capacity rides in the immediate area and the constant risk of one train requiring maintenance, which by the way would cut the capacity in half, and you would have just about the worst-case scenario that a theme park could experience. Long lines, risk of downtime, and most importantly, dissatisfied guests. As for Rapterra, this ride at least has the support from many riders in the vicinity, including Dominator, Flight of Fear, and Anaconda, all being high-capacity rides. Of course, Tumbili and Reptilian don't have the highest capacity in the world, but at least those will support the crowds as well. However, even with all of that, Rapterra is going to be the center of attention in Jungle Expedition, so I could see crowds stockpiling in this case as well. I've said this before, but this ride's operations will be very similar to another launch coaster, Pantheon at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. Both have 2 trains seating 20 riders each, and both also have similar track lengths and block zones. Digging even deeper, Pantheon's dispatch times are very frequently affected by impending riders depositing their loose articles into bins, among other factors. So with the similarities that it shares with Pantheon, Rapterra will likely face these operational challenges as well. So what can we take away from the announcements of both Rapterra at King's Dominion and AlpenFury at Canada's Wonderland? Well, these rides are no doubt going to be very exciting and world-class experiences like nothing else in their respective regions. However, I think that these crowd pleasers are going to have a hard time with operations and consistently effective capacity. But I want to know what you all think about these 2 new roller coasters opening in 2025. Are there any other flaws that you see with these rides that may affect their service lives? Feel free to comment below. And if you enjoyed this video or the content I put out in general, I recommend you stay tuned for more weekly roller coaster content here on YouTube and over on my new Instagram page. Signing off for now, this has been Storm, and I'll see you coaster lovers next time.